Clementine, and Clementine once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Today I'm back with fruit of the day, the one and only clementine. So maybe you confuse a clementine with an orange. Maybe you think it's a tangerine. Maybe you've never even heard of a clementine before. Well, whatever the case may be, please listen and watch on. Why? Because we're about to dive just a little deeper into the wonderful world of the clementine. All right, first up, a little bit of background information. Clementines are a special type of citrus fruit, favored for their thin, peelable skin and segments that can easily be separated. They tend to have a glossy exterior with a deep orange hue, or we can use the word color, and may or may not contain seeds depending on the variety. Now, take a look at the picture. As you can see, the skin is thin and can be easily peeled. We have some that are separated into their individual segments, and then we have the whole clementine. So whether you prefer it peeled, seedless, it doesn't really matter. At least we now know exactly what a clementine looks like. So there we have it, guys, a little bit of background information about the one and only clementine. All right, more background information. The clementine season runs through the winter, with the clementine tree typically producing fruit between October through January. Well, now we know exactly when clementine season ends, right? Which is probably one of the reasons why, if you go to the grocery store between the months of October to January, then you probably will find clementines on sale. That's one of the reasons why it's always best to buy fruit that is in season. Also, some of the most common types of clementines include Clemenoles, Fina, Algerian, Clementine Caffin, and Clementine de Calabria. So, a little bit of more background information about the one and only clementine. All right, now it's time for a few fun facts. Like tangerines, clementines are considered a type of mandarin orange. Both are sweet, juicy, and easy to peel, making them popular choices for portable snacks. Now, for those of us who have little ones, or shall I say little children, little kids, right, and we want them to eat more citrus fruits, then you probably want to go with these types of citrus fruits. Why? Number one, they taste great, and number two, they're easy to peel, making it less difficult for the little ones to get in their necessary calories and, of course, nutrients. Cuties and halos are two common brands of mandarins that can be clementines or variations like Clemenoles or Mercots, depending on what type of year it is. So there we have it, guys. Some fun facts about the one and only clementine. All right, now it's time for the not so fun facts. First of all, keep in mind that it's always best to opt for whole clementines whenever possible, as fruit juice may not offer the same benefits as whole fruit. In addition to being lower in fiber, fruit juice contains a much more concentrated amount of sugar as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably the number one reason why it's always not a good idea to drink fruit juice. Number one, lower in fiber. Number two, higher in sugar. Now, of course, we're talking about the fruit juice that is sold in the local grocery store. More than likely is going to come in a plastic bottle or maybe even a carton. Whatever the case may be, plastic or carton, it doesn't really matter. It's still not better than the whole fruit. Also, some people may be allergic to citrus fruits and can experience symptoms like redness, swelling, and tingling of the lips, throat, and tongue. If you notice any side effects after eating clementines, discontinue use immediately and talk to your doctor. So there we have it, guys. We now know if we experience any type of itching, tingling, or maybe even a rash after we eat certain plant foods, then unfortunately we may have an allergic reaction. That's right. So if you experience any of those symptoms after eating any type of plant foods, whether it's a fruit, a vegetable, a nut, a seed, right, then you may either want to reduce it or completely eliminate it from your diet, unfortunately. Sorry. So there we have it, guys. Some not so fun facts about the one and only Clementine. All right, more not so fun facts. The citric acid found in clementines can also erode the enamel of your teeth over time, potentially increasing the risk of cavities. Oh no. Keeping your intake in moderation and pairing with a variety of other fruits and vegetables can minimize these effects and help optimize your oral health. Some people also wonder, can dogs eat clementines? Well, let's find out. But before we do, take a look at the picture. Look at that little furry one. Isn't he cute? Although clementines are not toxic for dogs, they are high in sugar and citric acid, which can cause irritation and digestive distress when consumed in high amounts. So there we have it. If you have a dog, if you own a dog, or maybe your dog's sitting and that dog is begging for clementines, well, give it to him. But if you notice any ill effects, please take it away. So there we have it, guys. More not so fun facts about the one and only Clementine. All right, it's time to dive into the 520 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, the 520 rule is all about food labels. Basically, it helps us to understand and read food labels. Ultimately, it's a guide. It's a guide that lets us know whether or not a food or beverage item is a good source or not a good source of any particular nutrient. Now, when we talk about the 520 rule, really what we're talking about is the percent daily value, abbreviated percent DV. Now, let's take a look at our sample food label. As you can see, it is divided into 3 colored parts. We have the purple portion, the yellow portion, and the light blue portion. So let's take it portion by portion. First, let's discuss the the purple part, the percent daily value column. Now, as you can see, percent daily value, abbreviated percent DV, is basically represented as a percentage. Now, keep something in mind. This is a scale that goes as low as 0% to as high as 100%. Now, you got to be careful because there are some nutrients that we want very close to the high 100% mark, and then there are other nutrients that we want very close to the 0% mark. So let's dive just a little deeper. Now, when it comes to the yellow nutrients, such as saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, and sodium, well, unfortunately, these nutrients do a really good job at promoting sickness, illness, and disease within the body temple. So, if anything, you want to consume foods and beverages whose percent daily value for these nutrients are as close to 0 as possible. Now, when we take a look at the blue nutrients, such as dietary fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron, well, these nutrients do just the opposite of the yellow nutrients. Rather than promote sickness, illness, and disease, they promote wellness and health within the body temple. So, whenever you're eating or drinking anything, you want to be sure that whatever you're eating or drinking, that the percent daily values for these nutrients are as close to 100% as possible. Now, let's dive just a little deeper into the 520 rule. 23% nation, if a food or beverage item offers anywhere from 0% to 9% DV of any particular nutrient, then that food or beverage item is considered not a good source of that particular nutrient. Next, if the food or beverage item has 10% to 19% DV of any particular nutrient, then that food or beverage item is considered a good source of that particular nutrient. Lastly, if the food or beverage item offers 20% DV or greater, then that food or beverage item is considered an excellent source of that particular nutrient. So there we have it, guys, the ins and outs about the 520 rule. All right, it's now time to dive into the nutrition facts. In other words, we're going to find out exactly which nutrients are found in the clementines. So for today's lecture, we're going to say that a single serving of clementine is equivalent to 1 clementine fruit. Now, this single fruit is only going to contain about 35 calories, 9 grams of carbohydrates, 0.6 grams of protein. And you didn't think fruit had protein. Well, it does. Next is 0.1 grams of fat, 1.3 grams of dietary fiber. Thank God. Also, vitamin C comes in at 60% DV, excellent source. Potassium, folate, and thiamine each come in at only 4% DV, not a good source. And lastly is vitamin B6 coming in at only 3% DV, not a good source. Now, some of us may be a little perturbed because potassium, folate, thiamine, and vitamin B6 have a very low percent DV, but that's okay. Remember, it's only based on a single serving. So if you want more potassium, folate, thiamine, and vitamin B6, it's easy. Eat another one or maybe even a third one. So there we have it, guys, the nutrition facts about the one and only Clementine. All right, now it's time to dive into the health benefits. But before we do, I want to offer you something special. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk with you very quickly about the principle of cause and effect. Now, some of us may already be familiar with this principle. Why? Because it's one of the 7 Hermetic principles, which basically states that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. There really is no such thing as chance and or luck. In other words, everything happens for a reason. So the reason why I bring this up is because it's very important that we acknowledge the fact that when you have a disease, well, believe it or not, you caused it. And when you're healthy, well, believe it or not, you caused that too. So now the question is, how do we reap the benefits of the Clementine? Well, it's easy. You got to eat them. So what I want to do now is I want to talk about the benefits, or shall we say the effect, but then I also want to let you know which phytonutrients are responsible for the causes. That's right. So benefit number 1, clementines support weight loss. Great. Now the question is, which phytonutrient is responsible? Well, say hello to fiber, and also say hello to the fact that these clementines are very, very low in calories. Now, whenever you come across any fruit that's low in calories, what that simply means is that it has a very high water content. So the higher the water content, the lower the calories, which also can translate to the greater the nutrient content. Benefit number 2, it boosts the immune system. It boosts immune function. That's right. So the question is, which phytonutrient is responsible? Well, say hello to vitamin C. Benefit number 3, clementines help fight free radical damage and prevent oxidative stress and inflammation. So now the question is, which phytonutrients are responsible? Well, say hello to hesperidine, narirutin, D-diamine, and D-osmin. That's right, guys. I do apologize if I mispronounce any of those, but sometimes they are a little difficult to enunciate. Benefit number 4, combats cancer cell growth. How nice. So, which phytonutrients are responsible? Well, say hello to antioxidants. Benefit number 5, prevents kidney stones. Well, say hello to citric acid. And benefit number 6 is that clementines promote regularity. In other words, they help you go poo. So the question is, which phytonutrient causes this? Well, say hello to fiber. So there we have it, guys. 6 amazing health benefits from the one and only Clementine. All right, now it's time to talk about food. Yes, good old plant foods, but in particular, Clementine food. Now, usually our go-to website for everything vegan is forksoverknives.com. But for today's video, I thought I'd switch it up just a little bit and introduce you to onegreenplanet.com. Now, as usual, I did my research, went to the website, and found a lot of great information. So onegreenplanet.com is providing us with not one, but 2 amazing vegan clementine recipes that I want to share with you right now. Now, the first recipe is entitled Pistachio, Pecan, and Goji Berry Bites. Take a look at the picture. Looks delicious. Now, the second recipe that I want to share with you right now is Spicy Carrot Clementine Juice. Now, if you're like me and your mouth is watering and you're intrigued and motivated to make and taste these dishes, then do yourself a favor. Click on the description box. Why? Because that's where I am providing you with a direct link to each recipe. That's right, guys. Now, when you get to the website, you're going to notice a lot of great information, such as cooking time, cooking instructions, and of course, an ingredient list. That's right. So do me a favor. Click on the link, make the dish taste the dish, come back to the video and share your thoughts. So there we have it, guys. 2 amazing vegan clementine recipes from onegreenplanet.com. All right, 23% Nation, I hear you. A lot of you say, well, Coach D, thanks for the fun facts. Coach D, thanks for the not so fun facts. And I even appreciated the nutrition facts. But what I really want to know is, when in the world should I eat more clementines? Well, guys, if that's your question, then I got to tell you that the best day is Nature Day. What? Nature Day? Oh, yes, good old Nature Day. Ladies and gentlemen, Nature Day happens to be the first day of the 23% challenge. Now, maybe you've been living under a rock and you know absolutely nothing about the challenge. Well, in a nutshell, the 23% challenge is a 7-day wellness program that is designed to help improve your health, your wealth, your relationships. Oh, and it also helps to save good old planet Earth. Now, here's what we have to keep in mind, is that number one, the challenge is monthly, meaning every month, meaning January all the way through December. And number two, it's 7 days. As a matter of fact, it's the first 7 days of every single month, the first all the way through the 7th. Now, here's the interesting part, is that Nature Day is the first day of the challenge, which simply means that Nature Day is the first day of every month. So whether it's March 1st, April 1st, or July 1st, it's always Nature Day. So maybe now that you know a little more about Nature Day, maybe you want to try it. Maybe you're motivated. Well, if that's you and you're somehow inspired, well, I want to offer you just a little more information. Now, I do understand that most people do not like plant foods. Most people do not eat plant foods. So for those of us who have an aversion to plant foods, then let's try eating only plant foods and drinking only water before 12 p.m. Now, if you can't do that, then try eating plant foods only and drinking only water after 12 p.m. So it's up to you, before or after. These are the baby steps. Now, I do know that some of us have a little more willpower, and maybe we can go an entire day of only eating plant foods and drinking water. Well, if that's you, then you are going to be considered a 3% vegan. Next up is a 10% vegan. Who is that? Well, it's any person, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 3 days out of an entire month. Next up is a 17% vegan. So that's any person, man, woman, or child, who eats only plant foods and drinks only water only 5 days out of an entire month. And lastly is the ultimate 23% vegan. Now, technically, that's what Coach D considers himself to be. So what does that mean? It simply means that for the first 7 days of every single month, I eat only plant foods that come from the 5 food groups of plant foods. That's right, guys. So now the question is, what are the 5 food groups of plant foods? Well, here they are. Number 1 are vegetables. Number 1 are fruits. Number 2 are vegetables and herbs. Number 3 are going to be your legumes, meaning beans and peas. Number 4, nuts and seeds. And number 5, good old whole grains. So there we have it, guys. A little more information about Nature Day. Now, here's even more Nature Day information, because a lot of people may say, all right, Coach D, I get it. It's the first 7 days, or maybe the first day, right? You only drink water, you only eat plants. But who in the world is Nature Day really for? Well, here's the answer to that question. So maybe you have the big 4, right? Maybe you have heart disease, obesity, cancer, and type 2 diabetes. And maybe you're looking for a natural, holistic approach to healing. Well, it's easy. Eat more plants. Maybe you have skin issues such as pimples and acne, rosacea, or eczema. Maybe you have digestive issues such as constipation, and you're looking for a natural, holistic way to treat your ailments. Well, it's easy. Eat more plants. Or maybe you're dealing with mental issues such as anger, sadness, and depression, and you're looking for a holistic approach. Well, it's easy. Eat more plants. Or maybe you want to lean down, or maybe you want to bulk up, right? It's easy. Eat more plants. Maybe you're looking to transition from from the standard American diet to a more plant-based diet. It's easy. Eat more plants. Or maybe you're just in the mood to eat more plants. Well, guys, if that's you, then it's definitely time to participate in Nature Day. All right, now it's time for Coach D's tips. I'm offering tips. Why? Because I want you to be successful on Nature Day. So tip number 1, go to the local grocery store. Now, when you get there, you're going to go to 3 places. Number 1 is the produce section. Number 2 is the freezer aisle. And number 3 is the canned good aisle. Now, why would you want to go to the produce section? Well, that's where you're going to find all of your fresh plant foods. Why would you want to go to the freezer aisle? Well, that's where you're going to find all of your frozen plant foods. And why would you want to go to the canned good aisle? Well, that's where you're going to find all of your canned plant foods. Now, a lot of us may be wondering, which is best, fresh, frozen, or canned? Well, guys, I got to put it to you this way. Canned food is bad food. So if anything, stay away from the cans. Although they could be the cheapest, so it basically depends on your budget, okay? But first, I would definitely say fresh, and second, I would say frozen. But canned is definitely third. Tip number 2, go to the prepared dishes section of your local grocery store. So when you're done with the produce section, the frozen aisle, and the canned good aisle, walk on over to the prepared dishes section. Now, do yourself a favor, talk to the person behind the counter and ask them if they have any vegan, not vegetarian options. If they do, then ask for a quick sample. By the way, it's free. And if you like it, purchase it by the pound or maybe even 2 pounds if you really like it. Tip number 3, go visit your local farmer's market. Now, this option is going to appeal to those of us who do not like GMO products, right? So if you're in the non-GMO frame of mind, you want natural, chemical-free produce, then definitely go to a farmer's market. Why? Because they cater to the organic plant food market. That's right. Now, if you don't know where any are, just do a quick Google search. Type in farmers markets near me, and within less than half of a second, Google will give you your desired results. Tip number 4, it's time for us to go visit a vegan restaurant. Ladies and gentlemen, vegan restaurants are amazing, and I'll tell you why. Number 1, they hire vegan chefs. Number 2, those vegan chefs know exactly how to cook plant foods. And number 3, vegan chefs not only know how to cook plant foods, but they also know which plant foods to combine to yield the most delicious, nutritious dishes. Tip number 5, go get yourself a subscription to a vegan meal prep company. Now, these companies are amazing, especially for people who don't have time to cook plant food, people who don't know how to cook plant foods, or even for people who don't want to cook plant foods. Let somebody else do the cooking for you. Now, here's how it works. Number 1, you order it. Number 2, they make it. Number 3, they deliver it. Number 4, you eat it. It's just that simple. So there we have it, guys. 5 amazing tips to help make your Nature Day successful. All right, 23% Nation, it's time for our question of the day, which comes from yours truly. We want to know, like tangerines, blank are considered a type of mandarin blank. Now, I believe I covered this information earlier in the video, so if you didn't quite get it, you can always hit rewind. And of course, please write your answer in the comment box below. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. I'm signing out, but before I do, I got to ask you to please like, subscribe, and share the video, especially if you love clementines. And don't forget to use our 3-word mantra. It's #eat more plants. As stated earlier, my name is Coach D. I'm signing out. Always remember to take care, God bless, and never ever forget that Coach D loves you.